Hi everybody, welcome back to Pagan's Witchy Corner. My name is Pagan. How is everyone today? I am joined by Kayla as always. Kayla, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm ready to go.
Nice. Very nice. So, a little housekeeping to get out of the way. Um, you're probably only going to see about 3 episodes a month for right now because I'm in the process of closing on my house, getting ready to move, doing all this other stuff. My life is topsy-turvy, so we're trying to keep my schedule as manageable as possible because as of right now, I'm about to pull out my hair. So, beware with us or just bear with us as we kind of, do that. You're still going to see me poking around Discord a little bit. You'll probably see a lot more of Kayla the next couple of months with luck, and as long as Mother Nature plays nice and lets the construction workers do what they got to do, with luck we should be back in business by mid to late August. But if not, just we'll keep you posted. So we're still gonna have lots of episodes recorded for you. We're pre-recording a lot of them, so just as a heads up, and trying to make sure that you guys keep getting the content that you know and love while I figure out my new life and all that. So it's good, it's great, we're happy about it, but it's about
It's
damn
gonna be
time.
awesome.
It's about damn time. We've been waiting a long time for this. So without further ado, let's move on to this month's lesson, which we are talking about shielding and what it is, how to do it, why it's important, and all that good stuff. So, kind of digging deep into the beginnings of this, shielding is the practice of creating a living, responsive boundary to your energetic body. It's not so much about fear or hiding or trying to be extra protective. It's about making sure that, like, somebody else's energy is not infecting yours, is not attaching itself to you, and letting you just be you without somebody else's influence. It's boundaries.
It's really knowing where you end and somebody else begin
Yes.
is really what it's about.
Yeah. And it's not something that we hear a lot in the spiritual community where it's like you must shield, you must do all this, and it's kind of like you get that whole Star Wars reference where everybody has to drop the shield because you're about to go into battle, and it's like yes, but also no. It's more of making sure that your energy is comfortable. And the bad thing is when we walk through the world and we're doing our stuff and we're out in the grocery store or the mall or at work or the doctor's office, everybody's releasing energy, whether they mean to or not. And you just don't want that energy to attach itself to you by accident, which can happen, or intentionally. And that's what the shield does. The shield is basically that thing that's, that old nursery rhyme of I am rubber, you are glue, everything you say bounces off of me and sticks back to you. Yeah, everything's just bouncing off when you have a shield, which is great. Honestly, that's also a
Yeah.
really great shielding method, is using that nursery rhyme. So,
Yes.
um, you just want to make sure that you are not allowing other people's energy to come through. And it can also help protect things from like overwhelm, especially if you're energy sensitive and those kinds of things, or taking on someone's heavy emotions and those kinds of things. It helps with a lot of that. It's not just keeping energy out, it's also keeping things that you may not want really in your immediate presence from hitting your energetic field too hard. So the difference is, and we've talked about warding before, we talked about that last month. Now we're talking about shielding. They are similar, but they are not the same. So,
No.
warding is something you would do long term. It's places, objects, spaces, and those are like your fences around your property. You're not letting everybody in the neighbor's cat come visit because your wards are up. And your shields are kind of like smaller versions of that, but they're more like when you go outside, it's going to rain, you take an umbrella or you wear a jacket or something like that. That's like a shield. It's keeping something from getting you attacked, basically. And attacked isn't really the right word, but I guess if you think about it in the rain analogy, it's keeping you from getting wet. So
I usually think of shields as a raincoat.
Oh, okay. We'll see. There you go.
Yeah,
I think of mine
I
literally
do.
as a bubble.
I think of them as a bubble, but how to explain them to someone, I use the raincoat analogy quite often.
See, it works. Everybody explains them differently, but same analogies or same words, just different analogies. Same meaning. That's what I'm trying to say. I swear I can English, y'all, but if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know that sometimes that doesn't work very well. I do my best, but even then,
Words are hard.
the English language is a very difficult language, even if you're a native speaker. um, so words protect your home. Shields protect you. They're kind of like traveling protection. They won't, keep everything away, but they keep a lot away. And it still allows you to be open and present in what you need to do, but it also makes it to where you're not taking on things that are too difficult for you to function and allows you to remain comfortable and feel safe. So that's why, or kind of the differences between shielding and warding. Now, why it matters and why you should be doing this is you may be already naturally sensitive, or you may have sensitivity that grows with practice. And when that happens, it's not because you notice things more or that you are broken or any of those things. It's just a part of life. It's a part of witchcraft. It's a part of being a spiritual being. And it means that you're also attuning to the spiritual side of the world. But you will also feel things like tension in the air before other people do. You may walk in a space and kind of sense what had happened there and what was lingering. You may brush against somebody that just is having a bad day and you can feel it. That doesn't mean that any of those scenarios are wrong. It just means it might be a lot for you to take on. And so shielding doesn't necessarily numb it. It just helps you feel it without taking it onto your own person. It's kind of like how you filter out the noise, like noise canceling headphones, without losing the music. You still get to be a part of things without losing your stuff. So that's what a good shield can do for you. So, Kayla, what are some moments of when you feel like it's most important for you to shield, or when anyone should shield?
So, prime example. This past week we had to go to the DMV. Y'all, if you've ever been to the DMV, if you've ever needed to go, that's when you need to shield.
The DMV is its own portal to awfulness.
Yes. If you've ever had to go to I don't know if it's called the DMV everywhere, the Department of Motor Vehicles. So, yes, shield at the DMV. When you go to grocery stores or things like, trigger warning, for traumatic events, anything like that, like things like
Being around your family that you may not get along with.
being around your family that you might not get along with is definitely one. Or things like burials that may be traumatic, things that you may not want to go to but you need to go to, things that may be traumatic to you, those kinds of things you need to shield. Let's see, what are other events that you need to shield for?
Concerts.
Oh, concerts.
Yeah.
Yes, you never know who you're going to be around, what you're going to be around, or who you're going to be sat next to at a concert.
Flying. being in an airport and flying.
Yes, that's a great one. You're going to be stuck in a bubble of metal, however many thousands of feet in the air with some people. That's a good one.
And it's crowded and it smells and it's noisy and the airport. Yeah. Shield.
Yeah. Shield. School. If you're in school, that's a good one to shield for. Classes, people have stresses, you have tests that you have to take. You never know what's going to happen with anybody on any sort of day. You don't know who got in a fight with who, or who's having a bad day, or who's having bad makeup, or what's going to happen. Good time to shield.
And that kind of leads into like the next little bit of how do you know the difference between you're picking at somebody's spiritual gunk and when you're overstimulated? Yes. And distinguishing between the spiritual overwhelm and overstimulation, they can feel the same, but you may not actually be experiencing somebody else's energy. And this is where all of the past lessons really start to apply. Because once you really know your energy and you can start to go, this is mine, that's not mine, get rid of that. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine, and so on. Then you can go, am I spiritually under attack? Probably not. More than likely not. More than likely you are probably overstimulated, you're tired, there's a lot of stuff going on. The world is insane right now. Nobody wants to be dealing with the shit they're dealing with. And that's a lot to take on a normal day, on top of everything else. So being overstimulated and overwhelmed can be really difficult on a good day. And then not having a shield and going on and being out in everybody else's energy doesn't necessarily compound that, but it makes it so much worse because you are already picking up people's energy. Now, I will say this.
You're picking up energy. You're picking up energy of people who are also dealing with the world and the things that you're dealing with. You're picking up energy of people who are dealing with some of the same issues you're dealing with. So it compounds your energies.
Right.
Too.
Exactly. And
I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. Totally fine. Find my train of thought because I was like, Kayla's words are important. Yes. And now I'm like, what was I saying?
You will say this.
I will say whatever it was. I don't remember. It'll probably come back to me later or at 3:00 in the morning and be like, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, no, that's how my brain works. I mean, you know.
I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. Sometimes we just have those moments where life gets excited and we just forget what we're doing. But yes, we live in a very loud, chaotic world. Our senses, our bodies, our minds are constantly taking in so much input between lights, sounds, smells, people, vibrations, expectations, TikTok, short attention spans, dogs, kids, and everything in between. And sometimes when we're not regulating our nervous system, that can feel like an energetic breach. It can feel like we are caught up in this whole moment of, I have taken on everyone else's spiritual energy. And it's like, have you? Or are you just not regulated? And I can tell you from personal experience, sometimes it feels very much the same. But when a really great way to tell is not only if you are still new and you're still learning your energy, regulate your nervous system a little bit. If you still feel exactly the same, you might have somebody else's energy. And then that's a good time to utilize your spiritual hygiene, cleansing, grounding, all of those things. And then if you still feel that way, you might actually just be so overwhelmed, your body can't tell the difference. Been there.
Yeah.
It's a point of burnout. It does happen. And it really does happen, especially when the world is crazy like it is right now. So it's one of those things of you have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, because shielding does not replace basic needs. You still need to eat. You still have to hydrate. Yes, actual water, coffee, and soda does not count. And sleep, and making sure that you have some quiet and nervous system regulations. And if that's something that you're not really familiar with, explore it. Make sure that you are learning techniques, and every technique for every nervous system is going to be different. So I could tell you, hey, just go sit in a dark room for a while. That might bring more chaos to you because that's not something that regulates you. Whereas that might regulate me.
Yeah.
Whereas going and having a cup of tea during a thunderstorm and, watching it rain while cuddling my dog might regulate me. That may be like the worst thing ever for you. It's going to vary from person to person. So finding what regulates your nervous system is crucial not only to your spiritual health, but also to your physical. Because sometimes our nervous system, it also interprets the spiritual side as much as the physical side. And sometimes we can't tell the difference when we're overstimulated. So making sure that we're shielding, as well as doing all the natural stuff we're supposed to be doing to take care of our bodies, but we're also taking care of our spiritual bodies. So taking those moments to be like, am I actually tired? Have I had a proper meal, not just a bag of chips and, a prayer? Have I had some quiet time? Do I need some actual care? Do I need to rest? Sometimes in our society, we forget that rest is something we need. And it might mean completely tuning out from the world for 24 hours and just napping for 12 hours straight. That might be something you actually need. So once you actually meet those things and everything else, and then you've done your cleansing, your grounding, your spiritual hygiene, then you can actually start to go, okay, I know what is broken here, what needs to be fixed, what energy is really not mine, if there's anything that's lingering. And that might take a deeper cleanse, or in some cases, even a banishment. But most cases, banishments are very rare, just for the record. So
yes,
I would say tend to the body, tend to the spirit, and see what's left over. That's a really big way to tell what spiritual gunk is and what's overstimulation. And honestly and truly, I would recommend, no, this is just me, this is just the way I practice, take it for what you will, make nervous system care part of your witchcraft.
Yes.
Because when we care for our body, and especially our nervous system, we really can be way easier to open up, to do the big magics, to do the rituals, to sit at our altars and do all the stuff that we want to do, and everything else. We have to make sure our bodies are capable of that before we really sit down and be like, okay, magic, fix my life. Magic's like, girl, you fix your life first and then come see me. I'll fix the rest. But like, you got to do the work too here. I can't do it all for you. Like, you got to hold up your end of the bargain here too. Like, I'll help, but I ain't pulling the whole project. You got to do it too. So yeah, that's a big part of it. Now the biggest thing is, how do you shield, and what way works best for you? There's a lot of different ways to shield, and a lot of different ways to incorporate shielding. And you might try several of them. Heck, you might do all of them. I wouldn't say at the same time. But, different scenarios, be like, okay, well, if I'm going to work, I can just do a visualization. If I'm going to the grocery store, I might need to wear a specific item. If I'm going to go meet with my family, I might need something like physically attached to my body, like my hair has to be braided or something, because my family dysregulates me and I bring home so much anger from them and bad energy, whatever. You would really have to figure out what works best for you, and that is trial and error. Some things will work way better than others. So if you're like, oh, well, visualization doesn't work for me, okay, do something physical. It doesn't mean that you're wrong or doing anything bad. Just try something different. Now, in the lesson, we have several different options in terms of visualization. These are just a few ideas. There's pretty much the sky's the limit of what you can visualize and what you think is strong enough and works for you. That is
Like,
you. That's all you.
like it's all personal. It's personal to the person. Like, I visualize we have a coven mate who braids. She braids her hair and does a um pagan, what's the word that my brain will not think of?
Affirmations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
She does her affirmation and braids her hair every day.
And that's her form of wording.
That's her form of
one
wording
of her
and shielding
wordings, but
every
yes,
day.
that's the one that she does every day for general public.
But and that's not on the list, but that's personal to her.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like Pagan said, items of jewelry that you can wear. There's sigils. There's tons and tons of ways that you can shield yourself. There's items of clothing you could wear.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you would want to wear the same item every day.
Well, it might be like a bracelet or, you know, a jacket that you would normally wear or something like that.
That's true.
Pair of shoes, you know, your shoes you would wear every day. That could be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're your wife who has more shoes than I do, I think, for my entire family. But she loves shoes.
My wife has entirely too many shoes. I will say this. But we'll get to that in another episode. Oh, anyways. But there's way too many, I won't say way too many, but there's way many forms of shielding. Just pick something that works for you, try it. If it doesn't work after a little while, try something else.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is saying that you have to stick with the first thing you choose. Nothing's saying that that's the only thing that you can do. If it doesn't work, try something else.
Yes. And that's the thing. Shields do wear over time. You kind of end up like falling into a repetitive rut sometimes with shields. And so it's not that they don't work, it just becomes out of habit. And so they kind of lose the magic, so to speak. So kind of remembering, okay, checking in with it. Does this still feel like it is working, or am I just saying it is? Because I haven't figured out something else instead. That's one of those things of what actually genuinely works for me and what can I actually do to make sure that I'm doing what I need to. Yeah. So every time you check your shields, when you put them on in the morning, or if you're a night worker, you know, in the evenings, whenever, make sure that they are still working the way that they should be. Make sure they still feel strong and that you can still feel basically their power, so to speak. And if it doesn't feel like they're working as well, try something different. So not to say that you're not going to grow and things won't change and all of that. Sometimes it's a good idea for us to go, okay, well, this used to work, but now I'm a different person. I've been practicing longer and I feel like I need something stronger than this, or I need something different than this.
And you haven't failed because your shields aren't working.
No.
It's not a failing. It's just maybe you've outgrown them.
Yeah. You know? And the one thing that when we talk about shielding, especially, you know, we talk about warding, knowing your energy, protection, shielding, all of these things. These aren't to turn around and go, you must do this, otherwise the world is going to get you. It's not about control. It's not about fear. It's about making sure that you are staying sovereign to yourself, that you are still comfortable with yourself, and that your energy is still yours. And you're not just handing it out for free or letting somebody take it for free. Shields keep that from happening. And so it's a way of saying, I am worthy of keeping my energy safe. I'm worthy of protection, and I am worthy of having this be what it is. So that's the biggest thing when it comes to shielding, is we don't want it to ever feel like I must do this, otherwise I'm vulnerable. Are you going to be vulnerable? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe you have enough of that energy that's like, I don't want to screw with that. I'm good. Maybe you don't.
Maybe you've got enough charisma.
Maybe you do. Maybe you have enough charisma that everyone thinks like, I'm better over here. And that's nothing wrong with that. But also, don't let the ego say that too. Shielding is still one of those things that even if you have great charisma and you don't feel like it, it might be something that once you start shielding, you're like, oh, now I don't feel so tired. Okay. It's a thing. So when you keep that in mind, work with your shields, build them however you feel comfortable. We're not going to go into all of the ways to shield. If you would like to know all the ways to shield and the examples that we give in the lesson, come join the Discord and read the lesson for yourself. So, yes. There's also a really great meditation in there that normally I would try to do like a meditational video. Meditations will be on hold until after I move. I just simply don't have the time or the bandwidth to get to them right now. I will probably retroactively go back and do them, but for right now, I just don't have the time. And I'm so sorry about that. But if you really do want to do the meditations, they are written out in the lessons. And you can always record them yourself reading them or whatever works for you. But eventually, yes, I will put them up on the podcast and on YouTube and all of that. But right now, I just don't have the time because of everything that's going on with the move. So bear with me. I will get them up eventually, hopefully before Christmas, even though it's May. I'll get there eventually, I promise.
We will get there.
We will. And obviously there's some really great reflection questions, which we will be going over in the next episode. And you'll get to hear our perspectives, why we choose them, and so on. But the biggest thing is, if you want to know more about the lessons, you want to know more about the tempering path, want to know more about us, and all of this, come join the Discord. There's a link in the show description. If not, you can go to my link tree. There's a link there. There's links on the website. There's links everywhere.
There's links everywhere.
Literally. So come join the Discord. Come hang out with us. Walk the tempering path with us, and we would love to see you there. We are very hands-on with the tempering path. We will be there. We do a lot of interactive stuff where we sit down with students, and we will have voice chats available. So if you have witchy questions, whether it be about the path or about your practice or just witchy in general, we're available.
Or if you want to know what we had for breakfast that morning.
I mean, yes.
You could ask.
My neurodivergent butt usually has the same thing, so.
Mine too.
So, come join the Discord. We would love to see you. Thank you for being patient with us. And also, most importantly, thank you for listening to the show, because the show would not exist without you. And share the show with your witchy friends. We would love to have them listen to it. We would love to have them in the Discord. We'd love to have everybody everywhere. So come do it. And we will see you all next time for another episode. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.